Live from deep in enemy territory. What is going on? I am Matt O'Leary, hanging out with you for the pregame, not in the natural studio. Look behind me. I'm doing the reverse here. That disgusting logo behind me. I'm playing a road game at producer Tyler's house. So shout out to him for letting me use his disgusting studio with the New England Patriots logo over. But yes, a rarity. I am watching the game with actual other human beings. Usually I like to lock myself in just my own spot so that I don't have to deal with outside humans. But on the rare occasion, I do go to one of my good friends, Tyler, the producer, Tyler's house, and watch games with him. Although last year, I will say the Jets beat the Green Bay Packers on the road in Green Bay the one time I went to producer Tyler's house and watched the game with him. So possibly a good vibe. Although I totally agree with John, who says cover up the logo, cover that logo up. LOL. I do want to shout out John was getting us started before the stream, chiming in with Jets have no chance, or Chiefs have no chance, rather. Not the Jets have no chance. That's usually the storyline that we've seen all day long and all week long. It's been the Chiefs have no chance. It's been the Jets have no chance, rather. I keep flipping it. But John says the Chiefs have no chance. And you know what? That's kind of the exact polar opposite of what most people are saying for this game. Although, while my prediction for this game in the preview was not a pleasant one, I was saying that I think the Chiefs are going to look good in this game. I think Zach Wilson's going to struggle against a defense that is really good. And frankly, I think even underrated. Some might say I think this is a top level defense that the Jets are facing. There's some things, man. I don't love the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce storyline going into this game. Supposedly, Travis Kelce was at Taylor Swift's New York apartment last night. He stayed over and was seen leaving from Taylor Swift's house. Like, I just feel like the Chiefs are not taking the Jets seriously. And maybe it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day, and the Chiefs end up winning 30-6 regardless. And, like, again, at the end of the day, maybe it won't matter. But who knows? It's the NFL. Crazy shit happens. Sorry for the language, but crazy stuff happens. It's wild. It's who knows? Who knows? Hennessy chimes in and says, love seeing the Patriots get smoked. Yeah, I've been chirping my producer Ty pretty good here. But I can only enjoy it so much. Mac Jones threw a pick six. He has 2 picks, I believe, on the day since before, I came in here to get set up. He had 2 picks. Has not looked very good. New England doesn't look very good, but really, instead of me enjoying this performance that the New England Patriots have put up, instead I sit here wondering, how the hell did the New York Jets lose to this team? And we know how they lost to this team. It was because Zach Wilson was absolutely atrocious against the New England Patriots, and that's the reason why they lost the game. But it still hurts watching this team who lost their first 2 games and is getting blown out in this 4th game of the year. To me, it really hurts that they lost that one. How about them Jets? Can you move a little bit so we don't see that Pat's logo? Yeah, about this. We'll tilt this a little bit this way. Is that a little bit better? I love it. Snowball says, Matt, slide to the right a little bit. Perfect. There we go. Good stuff. My Holy King chimes in, says, Dolphins defense is atrocious. They had a really tough day. I was surprised. I liked Miami a lot in this game going up against the Buffalo Bills. I know it was in Buffalo, but Miami was hot. Their offense was looking great, coming off a 70-point performance against the Denver Broncos. And their defense got lit up for nearly 50 points on the road in Buffalo. Allen was spectacular today. What did he finish with? 5 total touchdowns. He was, again, just an absolute freak. Honestly, just unbelievable performance from Buffalo. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like this division and just everything is in the AFC feels so open. The Steelers lost today. No one's really the Bengals lost. They look awful. No one's running away with anything in the AFC. So if you could just stay afloat to the bye and maybe make a change at quarterback and have half a shot going forward, they would give you some sort of level of excitement for the second half of this season. But again, really tough matchup in this game. Sim says, Zach Wilson masterclass incoming, 285 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Could you imagine if some way, somehow, Zach Wilson goes, you know what? I know that I've absolutely stunk, but I'm going to come out. I'm going to play my best game of my career and come out here and just ball out on Sunday Night Football in front of a big audience where everyone's looking for, oh, how many times are they going to show Taylor Swift? And, oh, my God, Travis Kelce. That's the big storyline. Travis Kelce on the screen. They'll toss him up there, this and that. I don't want to hear it. I would love for the Jets to shut them up, but I just, again, I have really, really little faith. I have really little faith in this offense right now. They look really bad. They struggled in that first game against Buffalo. They scored one offensive touchdown. They scored one offensive touchdown in the second game, and they scored one offensive touchdown in the third game. 3 offensive touchdowns through 3 weeks, where Miami's going up and down the field seemingly at will, and all these other teams are like getting actual competent quarterback play from their backups. Like Arizona, I know they're losing pretty badly right now to San Francisco. At least it was until I came in here to hop on the live stream. But Josh Dobbs has looked good. They beat Dallas. They've been in on these games. Like, it's frustrating that the Jets can't get anything going right now with their backup quarterback and Zach Wilson. And we'll see if anything changes from that. Snowball says, Matt, idea. What if we put Thomas Hennessy at center and have him long snap it to Zach so he has 2 more seconds to see the field on passing downs? Snowball, I've heard a lot of crazy stuff on the internet and in my time creating content, but this was not something that I would classify as one of the more crazier things that I have seen. As Christian, I got to update. Christian McCaffrey scored another touchdown, so that's freaking sick. I have him on one of my fantasy teams. But Thomas Hennessy, have Zach stand like 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage so he's not tempted to run back 15 yards and give him a couple extra seconds to read the defense. I don't think it could hurt. Sawyer is saying times they show Taylor Swift greater than Jets first downs. I would not be surprised. As awful as that sounds, I think Taylor Swift is getting shown on screen double-digit times today, and I'm not convinced the Jets are getting double-digit first downs. A lot of 3-and-outs. We saw a ton of 3-and-outs for the New York Jets against the New England Patriots last week, and I don't know if that changes. I really don't. Again, I would love for it to change. I would love for them to come out and show you some sort of competency on offense. We just haven't seen it yet. There's nothing they've done so far that has shown me that they are going to be able to do anything offensively to keep pace with this team. Matt Curtis says, Fields played the best game of his life and lost today. He did through the first half, but he also had some critical mistakes at the end of that game. He had the fumble that was returned for the touchdown, the pick that sealed it, and a terrible intentional grounding call against him. So he was spectacular. And listen, Zach has probably never played as good of a game as what we saw from Justin Fields earlier today, but even still, Justin Fields isn't good. He lost them that game. They had it. They had the opportunity to just get down the field and get a field goal and win the game, but they couldn't do it because of the fumble got Denver back in the game, the interception at the end, and also the terrible intentional grounding call. And that's just, you got to be better than that. And isn't it so wild? Like, the 2021 quarterback draft class was hyped up so much, and it really ends up that Trevor Lawrence is the only legit quarterback in this draft class. Like, Zach Wilson goes 2 overall, stinks. Trey Lance goes 3 overall, stinks. Justin Fields goes 10 overall, stinks. Mac Jones, what did he go? 15 to the Patriots, stinks. Davis Mills, 2nd round pick, I believe. Davis Mills, stinks. Like, so many guys from this quarterback class just not nearly as good as where many projected them to be or many thought they would be. So, like, very, very strange. But, like, a lot of people are hyping up this 2023 NFL draft class at the quarterback position and saying, like, you got to take a quarterback here. Do you? Because sometimes I feel like it's the class that doesn't get the hype. Like, the 2020 NFL draft class did not get a significant amount of hype. Outside of, Joe Burrow got a bunch of the hype, but Tua, a steady quarterback, ends up being a good number, a good pick there. Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. I'm missing another one too. There's another quarterback from that class that I'm missing too, aren't I? In 2020, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but like, there's opportunities for you to, land a quarterback. And sometimes when there's, it's not a deep quarterback class, you would think, but you're still able to find that talent. Sometimes it happens. No one thought the 2017 class was going to be as good as what it was. 2018, everyone's like, oh, wait till the Darnold and Josh Rosen, wait for them to come out. And meanwhile, Deshaun Watson through the first few years of his career put up stellar numbers, and Patrick Mahomes ends up being stellar. So sometimes you just don't know. Let's go to our first super chat of the evening. We will scroll on down. Thank you so much for How About Them Jets. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that support. It says move 1 foot more. LOL. Sorry, I'm like trying to get, I got here and here. Like I got this strip over on this side. It's reversed. So I got to hold up my hand like this while I answer the question. I'm so pumped for this game. Can't wait to silence the Swifties. I just don't see Zach playing the entire game. Go Jets. Yeah. So, good question or good comment, I guess, from How About Them Jets. Do you think, or do we think that we see Tim Boyle at some point in this game? Part of me was a little bummed out that Trevor Siemian's not going to be active because, as painful as it is to say, Trevor Siemian is the best quarterback on this New York Jets roster right now. Like, I don't think it's even remotely a question. Zach Wilson's like the 65th best quarterback in the sport, and Trevor Siemian's maybe like the 44th best quarterback in the sport, but like it would be a sizable upgrade if they went to Trevor Siemian, I think anyway. But do they make a change at halftime and go to Tim Boyle if the Jets are down 20-3 at halftime? I hope that's not the case. I hope the defense comes out and maybe gets a score, a turnover, a big special teams play. Give me something to get in this game and something to steal a win. I want the Jets to win this game, and I want Zach Wilson to prove us all wrong. That'd be awesome if they did that. Like, I want this team to just end the 12-year playoff drought. Going on 13 years now. It's way too long. It's way too much. But based on everything we've seen through the first 24 starts of Zach Wilson's career, I don't know how that's possibly the case. I don't know how we possibly see something different because, again, we haven't seen anything different yet. It's been 24 starts. It's been the same thing over and over and over and over again, man. I don't know. I don't see it. Jay Boy asks, why is there so much Pats junk around you? Yeah, playing a road game at producer Tyler. So if you didn't see the live stream I did previewing the New England Patriots and the New York Jets matchup last week with my producer Tyler. He's one of my good friends. He does a lot of video editing for me and some behind the scenes stuff. He's a big Pats fan, and he let me use his room to do my content. Usually I like to watch from home. Or I go to maybe one game a year and I won't do my regular coverage. But last year, I came and watched the New York Jets versus Green Bay Packers at my buddy Tyler's house, and the Jets pulled a big upset. So maybe they do it again this time in their home building against the Kansas City Chiefs. That'd be pretty sick. And Aaron Rodgers is in the building. How about that? I don't know if you guys saw Aaron Rodgers getting wheeled in on the golf cart. He's there. He was on the sideline pregame. I would be surprised if he spends the game on the sideline. I think he gets put up in a booth somewhere, but we'll see. I don't know if that's where he ends up, but again, just moral of the story here. I'm glad that he's back with the team. I think he will settle things down. I'm not saying he's going to turn Zach Wilson into a top 30 quarterback in the NFL. I think that's a really tough ask, but just having another leader there, I think, is really a big key. Because the Jets kind of felt like they were losing the locker room the last couple of weeks because of just how bad the quarterback play was. But, Aaron Rodgers was critical about this, the Jets needing to mature in this game and just going forward with what they normally have and what they were doing with Zach Wilson. Garrett Wilson animated on the sideline. Michael Carter got a little animated on the sideline. He said it's time for the offense to grow up. And I think his presence and just being there is going to be a nice, not a fix for the offense, but just a nice presence to have, I think is important. Barney Miller's hanging out with us. He says, yes, we'll see Tim Boyle in garbage time with the Jets up 38-6. Can you imagine that? Sign me the hell up for a crazy surprise upset win. That would be absolutely epic. By the way, not that this is any new information, but I will be on at halftime with Green Bean and Ryan. Ryan, I think, is going to be on for the entirety of the game. I will not be. I'll be on at halftime, but make sure to go over to the Talking Jets channel to watch that stream. It's going to be a blast over there. And like I said, I'll be on there. W. Ireland says, you are wrong, Matt. Give our quarterback some encouragement. Based on what? Why? Why should I? He looks like the 60th best quarterback in the NFL. Until he proves otherwise. Like, I'm not going to just do this blind faith thing. I don't think that's fair. Jay Boy says, I got a Jets blanket if you want to put that up. There you go. I might need that. I might pop this jersey off at some point, not on stream, but just while I'm getting ready for the game and hang that up in the background because it's hot, man. It's sneaky hot day here on Long Island. It's over 70 degrees, which is, again, kind of surprising. Did not expect that. The dude says Zach is going to have a career game tonight. 172 yards, 15 to 36, 1 touchdown. That's sad that would be a career night, but you're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong for that. Sim chimes in with the super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Really, really means a lot. Says, do you think when Aaron returns, you can enhance Zach's progression to a permanent top 15 quarterback? Big fan from Australia. Sim, really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for checking in from Australia. Can you believe that? What time is it in Australia right now? What is it, like Monday afternoon? Not quite, but you're a real one for hanging out with us and showing the support. I appreciate it. I don't think that's the case. I wanted to believe that, but I do think Zach is at this point best suited for he needs to sit. He is so mentally broken right now. He just has zero confidence in himself. I know he's not turning the ball over or anything like that. Like Robert Saleh praised him for not turning the ball over against New England, but he played way too conservative. You can't win that way. And part of me kind of just wants him to let it loose tonight. But I also know, like, if he does that, there's probably a good chance he leads the Jets to a 3 interception performance. And that's not going to be good enough to win this game either. But the Jets don't even need a top 15 quarterback right now. If Zach Wilson can play like a top 30 quarterback, which should not be asking a lot, but apparently it is, the Jets would win a bunch of these games coming up. Like Denver looks terrible. I know they came back and beat the Bears, who, I mean, come on, Chicago might be the worst team in the NFL, but Denver should be a winnable game next week. If you have top 40 quarterback play in the NFL, you should be able to beat the Denver Broncos. And I don't know if Zach can do that. Could Trevor Siemian do it? Can Tim Boyle do it? Could someone else do it? Like, as much as I want Ryan Tannehill or Kirk Cousins at the bye week, both those teams won today. So you could thank the Cincinnati Bengals for making life a lot more difficult. And, the Cincinnati Bengals against Tennessee, and the Carolina Panthers didn't play a good game at all against Minnesota, even though they got a pick 6 on Kirk. Like, it's tough. It's really tough. But yeah, Sim, I think that's a little optimistic here. I hope that's the case, but just I don't buy it. Barney says, why should I give Zach encouragement? Because our cult leader, Aaron, said to obey the leader. I guess I should theoretically obey the leader, right? But I don't know. There's only so much that we can do as fans. There's only so much that we can do. We can't just sit up there and, clap willy-nilly and just expect things to change. We've tried it. We tried to give him the encouragement. It's not working. Unfortunately, isn't working. Yeah, there's an AC in here, but I think it's going to put up too much noise. So when I go back out to the living room, I'll be in the AC. But in here, I don't have the AC on. There's a window right behind here that I got open, and hopefully that keeps me a little bit on the cooler side. But if you see the beads of sweat start dripping, don't hate on me too much. Again, it's a road game for me, but I appreciate you guys hanging with me before this game. It's Jets, and this is sad too. Like, the Jets have been on Sunday Night Football. They haven't been on Sunday Night Football since 2011. It's been 12 years since they've been on Sunday Night Football, and we can't even get that excited about it because we were supposed to have Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, and now it's Zach Wilson, Patrick Mahomes. Man, that's not fair. Come on now. 9:47 a.m. in Melbourne. How about that? Good stuff. Thank you so much for watching and carrying on with us, Patrick. Really, really appreciate it. Well, he follows it up saying, Washington looked good today. Their quarterback did pretty well. Yeah, Sam Howell, man. I know, late round pick in the draft last year. All these teams, they're just finding guys who aren't supposed to be good, but they're getting their job done. Again, it's not anything crazy. Like, Sam Howell just had a very, very productive day. Very productive day. Also, by the way, I know I'm on my laptop, which I usually, when I'm in the home studio, I have the multiple screens going and I'm able to check Twitter on the side while I'm live and on the air. It's a little bit more challenging when I'm just on the laptop. So if we see what some of the inactives look like, then we'll talk about it. And we'll bring that up. So make sure to drop it in the chat. The Jets just tweeted out, I'm not going to share the screen like I normally do because, again, like I'm on my laptop. I don't have the second screen. But Aaron Rodgers on the bench right now. I'll show it on the phone. I don't know if it'll focus up. It's not going to really focus up, but that's kind of a positive vibe. I'll kind of take that as a small victory here. Rodgers on the sideline, that helps. It helps a lot. The dude says that Sam Howell going toe-to-toe with the NFC champion in his fourth start, and people are still making excuses for Zach after 25. Like, that's the thing, right? How about CJ Stroud going out there? And by the way, putting up numbers with his playmakers there's not anything special with his playmakers. He has a couple solid guys. He's down like 4 offensive linemen, and he's still putting up numbers. CJ Stroud's been really, really impressive. I'm kind of with the dude here, man. I'm tired of these excuses for Zach Wilson. And like, you have to look through a fine-tooth comb to find like, oh, well, there's like 2 positive plays in this game. So obviously Zach showing that he could turn it around. It's like, dude, you're in year 3. It shouldn't be. You have to go through and find this time, this little bit here, like to find something productive. But anyway, let's go to the phone lines. We got Rob, the Jets fan, in here. Let's add him in.
Matt,
how's it going,
buddy?
How are you?
You ready for the game tonight?
I'm as ready as I'll be. What's your feel for this one?
Not good, but what? Let's go out guns a-blazing, and let's try some trickery plays. Obviously, run the ball, screens. Let's get our tight ends involved, things that we normally don't do. And you know what? They have to kind of let Zach rip it downfield a couple of times. Take the restraints off. I mean,
yeah.
What do you got to lose? I mean, last week, last play of the game, he's still scared of throwing an interception, and he throws a 2-yard pass on 4th and 10 because in his mind, psychologically, he's so used to not wanting to make a mistake. Yep. Correct?
No, you're 100%. And like you said, if you're going to go out, right, like so many people are saying this could be his last start as a Jet. If you're going to go out, you might as well go down swinging, right? Throw the ball around a little bit.
Why not? I mean, give it a try and stuff like that. They got to really game scheme good tonight. At least at the very minimum, let's play a competitive game and let's not get blown out. And I blink and it's 40-0. I don't want to see that crap, to be honest with you. I mean, let's go out there, play a real competitive game. Let's show that, we can make halftime adjustments and let Hackett have a good game strategy here,
He needs it. Hackett, look, as bad as Zach Wilson's been, and I think he deserves a majority of this blame, Nathaniel Hackett has to do better. Like, he's way too predictable, and some of the personnel usage is just ridiculous. Like, I don't know why Mecole Hardman can't find the field, or even Jeremy Rucker isn't getting snaps over someone like CJ Uzomah. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get why did we get this guy if he's not going to even. So, meanwhile, Barrios, like on Miami, he's making like tremendous catches for the Miami. Well, maybe not so much today, but I mean, he's been playing fairly well. He's been playing,
right?
So now we got Hardman, and it's like we don't even use him. I don't understand this. I know this was designed for Aaron Rodgers. I kind of get that part, and but they're playing way too conservative, and you have no chance of winning like that. You were in the game against New England. You were down 3 points prior to what happening. Getting that safety in there, but you know what? They were playing way too conservative. Because if you check the game film, which I'm sure you have, how many open receivers were there? And Zach Wilson was going to his last checkoff point.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you can't win that way. You're 100% right. And let's be honest here, New England and Kansas City, completely different beasts. That's 2 way different offenses. You're going to get blown out if you're going into this game that conservative.
Absolutely. I go on Jake's show a lot. He's a good guy.
There you go. Jake's the best. Rob, I appreciate you hopping in. Any last predictions for this game before you get out of here?
I started off with you guys first with 24/7, just to let you know.
Love it. So you're an OG. I appreciate you, Rob. Thank you so much for hanging with us.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. There we go. Love it. Thank you, Rob, for joining us. We got another super chat. We'll pop this up here on the screen. Thank you so much to Brian Bogan. He chimes in and says, I'd rather him play like a bad Josh Allen day than a good Zach Wilson day, right? A good Zach Wilson day is like what? 60% completion, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers. If you're going to go down, you might as well freaking go down swinging, right? Like, go out there, throw two touchdowns, 300 yards, and if you throw 2 picks in the game, you throw 2 picks. Like, just so be it at this point. I don't understand it. I hear there's some yelling in the background. So there's something going on with this Dallas New England game. There's a Cowboys fan in the other room and a Pats fan in the other room. So I have absolutely no idea what's going on in that game. But if anything good's going on, please make sure to let me know in the chat down below. But Brian's right. Like, you can't just roll over and die here, because that's what it feels like you're doing if you're the New York Jets. And if you want Zach Wilson to go out there and be like, oh, let's not make any mistakes. Let's go out there. We'll complete 55% of our passes and throw for 150 yards. And that's it. And don't turn the ball over and we'll win. I don't care. Like, Robert Saleh praising Zach Wilson for not turning the ball over this past week. Really not the best, man. I can't stand it. I really don't. Like, that's not an accomplishment. He didn't give them a real shot to win. And I don't want to hear about the Hail Mary at the end and, oh, Randall Cobb dropped the Hail Mary and they would have won the game. Like, it shouldn't come down to that. That game against New England, it should have never gotten to that point, because the defense didn't allow New England in the red zone one time. Yeah, they scored 13 points and they scored 1 offensive touchdown. In their last 3 games against New England, the defense allowed 2 defensive touchdowns in 3 games, and they've lost every single time. I don't know how we could possibly blame the defense for that. It's absolutely astonishing. Let's go to J Dubs up next. He sends in a super chat. Thank you so much. He says, Al Woods, wide receiver, Jason Brownlee, Wes Schweitzer, Zaire Barnes, Tony Adams, Israel Bonaconda. Is Al Woods inactive? Is that the case? I'm going to try to pull that up right now, if that's true. That would be a little bit of a surprise if Al Woods is inactive on this one in this game. Yeah. So here we go. According to the New York Jets, they just tweeted it out. It's Israel Abanikanda, Jason Brownlee, Wes Schweitzer, Zaire Barnes, Al Woods, and Tony Adams. Al Woods inactive is a little bit on the surprising side. Thank you so much, J Dubs, for the super chat, by the way, for keeping us in here. Again, not my normal setup, as you can see. So I'm only on the laptop. I don't have the second monitor going where I could share the screen and really get fancy with it. Sorry, I need a sip of water. That means Carl Lawson's going to be in. That means Will McDonald's going to be active, which I guess is a plus. But Al Woods has really struggled in rushing the passer. So that's going to be a big difference. He's a pretty good run stuffer, but you'd have to imagine the Chiefs are not going to run the ball a whole lot in this game. So I don't know if you necessarily need his skill set, where someone like Will McDonald, where he hasn't been popping off the page per se as a pass rusher, at least with his speed, it gives you something completely different in this game. So I'm with that. I like that a lot. And thank you again for the super chat. Calvin says, where are you? Blur the background. I should be able to. Why don't I blur the background? I think I could do that in StreamYard. I might as well. Let's see. Virtual background. Can I do it? Yeah, let's blur the background. Let's do that. Oh, that's better. We'll do that. I am at my producer's house, producer Tyler. I don't know if you guys saw the live stream last week where I had Tyler on to preview the New York Jets versus Patriots. He is a big Pats fan. And I went over and watched the game here. I am not usually someone who watches the game out, but last year the Jets upset the Green Bay Packers while I was here watching games with my buddy Tyler and my friends. So I said, you know what? I'll do it. I'll come over. He invited me over, said, the Jets are a standalone game on Sunday Night Football. I can enjoy Red Zone. I can enjoy Cowboys and Pats. Because I have 2 people here, 2 of my friends. One's a Cowboys fan, one's a top producer. Ty's a Pats fan. He's struggling. He's all upset. So we've had some fun today. But why not? Why don't we blur the background a little bit so we don't have to look at that ugly stuff? I love it. Good stuff. Hennessy Heisman asks a really solid question here, saying, how many plays for Hardman, 2 or 3? He's got to get on the field more than just 2 or 3, you would hope, because there's no way that he is in a point where he should be not getting on the field that much. He is absolutely someone who is, I think anyway, good enough and speedy enough to get out there on the field. Like Randall Cobb without Aaron Rodgers should not be playing 73% of the snaps. That's what it was. 73% of the snaps for Randall Cobb last week against the Pats. Mecole Hardman played 3%. He has, I think it's 16 snaps in 3 weeks. That's awful. That's absolutely atrocious. Jib says, but man, we hate some Pats shit. LOL. Yeah, we do. We do. That's why I got to blur the background. Although I feel like it's slowing me down. It's eating a little bit of the RAM. But let me know if I'm a little spotty on this stream now after I blur the background. Are they really? This is terrible for me. Chargers are choking. Of course they are, but I have a bet on the Chargers, so that's only natural for them to be choking this game away. Let me check the scores on my phone while we're doing this, because that would just be so typical. They were up 24-7. Now it's 24-17, and it looks like the Raiders are about to score. Cowboys are up 31-3. Niners are up 28-16. Cardinals keeping in this a little bit. The dude says some dude named Aiden O'Connell is out playing Justin Herbert. How do other teams find guys late in the draft, but Jets got a bust in second overall pick? That's what I was saying. Aiden O'Connell was someone that I liked, though. When I did some mock drafts, if you go back in some old Matt O'Leary mock drafts, I mocked Aiden O'Connell as a late round pick for the Jets. I liked him as a developmental guy. How about that? It works. The Raiders, they might be better off playing Aiden O'Connell. Forget Jimmy G. Jimmy G's not a long-term answer there. Maybe Aiden O'Connell's a long-term answer there. It's crazy. But it is frustrating, though, isn't it, the dude and everyone else in the chat? Like, I know you all are Jets fans, naturally so. And it's just all these teams out, right? Like Sam Howell, late round pick, is playing good football. Aiden O'Connell is coming in and hanging tough. Josh Dobbs is playing, and the Cardinals are significantly better than what they should be. Every other team around the league is finding these guys, and the Jets can't do a damn thing. It's atrocious. Brian says play calling should be like Madden playing when I was 12. No punts, all deep passes. Yeah, you got to run 4 verts once a quarter. That's the rule. You got to have Garrett Wilson go down the field once. Also, like sneaky, I kind of have some good feelings about Allen Lazard because Zach Wilson likes his bigger receivers. He did it with Corey Davis his first 2 years. And some of Zach Wilson's best throws this year have gone Allen Lazard's way. So I'm curious to see if he's another one who has a good game tonight. I think that's absolutely a possibility that we could see Allen Lazard have a solid game. Not that I want him to get reps over Garrett Wilson necessarily. Like, I don't think that's wise, but sneaky Allen Lazard might have some solid reps here in this game. I would not be surprised at all. Thanks again, Brian, for the super chat. You're right. You gotta air it out a little bit. Let's have some fun. Jalen Hurts went pick 53. We went Becton and Mims. Look, Becton, they need a left. They need a tackle. And right now, Mekhi Becton is starting at left tackle. But yeah, Jalen Hurts. I would say I'd rather Jalen Hurts than Denzel Mims. I would absolutely rather him. And the Jets did take a quarterback in that draft. If you remember, they took legend James Morgan in the 4th round, and he absolutely freaking stunk. What a waste of a draft pick that was. Imagine if they took Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round instead and hedged their bet a little bit. And maybe like the Jets don't have, someone who could put up that kind of, offensive game plan, right? Like it was Adam Gase in 2020 and then Mike LaFleur and now Nathaniel Hackett. And maybe like Shane Steichen and, the Phillies, oh God, the Philadelphia Eagles head coach, they do things the right way and they really play up the game plan, I think anyway, for Jalen Hurts. So maybe it wouldn't have mattered at the end of the day, but it's just crazy that so many other teams are able to find their guy significantly easier than this Jets team is. It should not be this challenging. Method Man, what's up, man? It says air it out, 6-yard pass that is intercepted is basically a punt. Yeah, like the second interception from Zach Wilson in the game against the Cowboys really did not bother me because it was basically a punt, and he was trying to take a shot, and they needed to back the defense off because they were stuffing the box and just absolutely eating in the run game. So I don't hate it at all, actually. Nick HS, does Ruckert get more than one snap? I freaking hope so. I really do. He deserves more than one snap. He is the second best tight end on the roster, but for some reason, CJ Uzama gets significantly more run than Jeremy Ruckert. I would play him 15 snaps a game, at least 15 snaps a game. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. This comment from Jesse made me laugh. He goes, I hope Rodgers steals Taylor from Kelsey and we win. Yeah, how about that? So Travis Kelsey spent the night. We have the storyline. I'm sorry that we got to talk about, but we're going to talk about it. So Travis Kelsey spent the night with Taylor Swift in New York and made his way from Taylor Swift's apartment to MetLife. It feels like the Chiefs are not taking the Jets seriously, and I would love for the New York Jets to win this game and pull off some crazy upset. And, Vegas, they always know something, right? And for whatever reason, this line started at only 9.5. And you thought, like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, don't love that this line is only 9.5. Would have thought it'd be, 11 points, 12 points, something like that. And now it's down to 8.5. It's going in the other direction. So is this game going to actually be closer than we think? That's nuts. Drum says, I just saw a video of Rodgers at the stadium tweeted by Samini. He's basically walking with the crutches. Crazy. Yeah. So I've seen a few different videos of Aaron Rodgers. Let's see. I'll pull it up on the phone. I can't really share it on this screen. I apologize again. This isn't really my normal setup, but yeah, Samini was tweeting out Aaron Rodgers on the sideline walking around. He looks good walking. Can he get back by, I don't know, week 12? Can we get some crazy recovery time for Aaron Rodgers and save this season? Somehow, some way. John chimes in. He's a member of the channel. He says that's because heavy money on the Chiefs, right? Like they're trying to skew it the other way. Although, wouldn't they make the line go the other direction? If heavy money's coming in on the Chiefs, wouldn't they make it like Chiefs minus 13? Like just go complete the opposite direction? That's what I would do. Yeah, Ryan and Green Bean chat me up a little bit in here. They're going to get started around 7:30. So I got about another 20 minutes or so on here. And then I'm going to hop off so that everyone who's in here, we got 188 of you guys in here. I appreciate you hanging out with me pregame. Can hop over to the Talking Jets channel. Oh, Billy SBC. These are things you just absolutely hate to see. The Pats didn't even put up a single touchdown. Is that game final yet? I'm going to go over and take a look at that score. It's 31-3. Last 38-3. 6:10 left in that game. Dallas had an ugly performance against Arizona, but they have beaten up on the Jets, the Giants, and New England. They made that significant beatdowns there. They get this was their get right game. Holy smokes, was this a get right game? No way. Did they put Zappy in? Did they really put Zappy in this game? Oh my God, yeah, Bailey Zappy 3 of 7. How about that? Oh, we can't even enjoy this. You absolutely can enjoy this. I wish I could be dancing on the Patriots graves, but I can't because the Jets are starting the 60th best quarterback in the NFL tonight, and Zach Wilson. Patrick wants to know if Aaron Rodgers will have a headset. I don't know. I kind of hope he would have a headset because, again, like he's like throw it deep to Malik, and it ended up working out. The Jets threw a bomb on the left sideline to Malik, and it was one of Zach Wilson's best throws in the preseason. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is better than Nathaniel Hackett as a play caller. Wouldn't shock me, right? This offense is more Aaron Rodgers than it is Nathaniel Hackett, at least going into this year. So who knows? Yeah, give me an Aaron Rodgers headset. I am totally in on that. Jesse says, hit the like button. Yeah, if you're in here and haven't given a like, if you can, it takes 2 seconds. It's free. I'm not asking much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Really means a lot. I appreciate your guys' support. Hopefully the Jets give us a nice one. Jingle Dub says, again, if Zach Wilson was even less than mediocre, the Pats would be 0-4. Yep. That is so sad, but again, it is so true. If he was quarterback 30 in the NFL, the Jets would have won that game against New England last week, and the Pats would be sitting at 0-4. Instead, New England is sitting at 1-3, right, in this game. And many people think the Jets are going to fall to 1-3 in this one. But that changes everything if the Jets win that game last week. And it's just so freaking frustrating that they lost. So annoying that they lost. Awful. Hennessy says they're showing Rodgers on the sideline talking to Kelsey. Motherfucker going to go talk to Zach or your boy Nate Hackett. Go talk to Zach or Nate Hackett. Yeah, I get it. And I think eventually he will. I'm sure he's been in their ear. He talks to those guys every day. He will, but that's a tough look. Jay says, even if Rodgers didn't know the playbook, I'd rather have him with a headset than Hackett. You're not wrong. Hackett's been bad. He's been really bad. But you can't still, Hackett doesn't deserve more of the blame than Zach. Like, there's only so much an offensive coordinator can do when there are open wide receivers and open people on your screen, and you just cannot facilitate the football for whatever reason. You just are not able to get the football in. I'm going to drop the link in here if anyone wants to join the show. Again, we got about another 20 minutes in here. If anyone wants to join in, you can. I just dropped the link. It's also pinned in the comment. Mac Jones, 12 of 21, 150 yards, 2 interceptions, bench for Zappy. Things you just absolutely hate to see. Could not have happened to a better guy. It stinks. Yeah, the New York Jets just tweeted it out. So here's Rodgers and come on. Rodgers and Kelsey talking on the sideline. T. Rivera says, we can win this game, Matt. The line needs to protect. We need to run the ball efficiently, and the defense needs to go to get the Pat to be more creative on offense, throw the damn ball on first down. Look, I think the offensive line was better in week 3 against New England. That was the best unit that they've showed. If they played like they did in this game last week, like they did in this upcoming game, if they play the same as they did last week in this upcoming game, they'll have a significantly better shot. Is it a good enough shot to win? Who knows, right? Like, I don't know if it's going to be enough to win this game, but they do need to be a little bit more creative. Let's go to How About Them Jets is waiting to come in the show. Let's go over to him. How's it going? How about them Jets?
Hey, Matt, how are you doing? My question for you is, if we don't win the game tonight, but Zach plays decent, are we rolling with him come the next week?
Yeah, I think it would take like a really bad performance for the New York Jets to make a switch and go to either Tim Boyle or Trevor Siemian. Like, I'm ready to make that switch. I think Trevor Siemian, as sad as this is to say, I think he's the best quarterback on this roster. But I think Zach Wilson's going to have to play poorly. Like, if he goes out and throws for, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns and they just lose a tight game, I think he will probably get the start again against Denver.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I think I'd rather just see like Trevor or someone starts, regardless of the outcome of this game tonight.
Yeah, hard to blame you.
Yeah.
I would really, like I said, I would rather make the change. I think it's better for team morale, even if they make the change. But I think he's going to have to play poorly for them to do that.
All right, take care, and let's hope we get a W tonight.
I love it. Enjoy the game. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
I love it. Thank you so much to How About Them Jets for joining in. Things you love to see. Snowball chimes back in, says, Rodgers is asking Kelsey all the important questions. Like, yeah, what are you going to run? How good is Taylor Swift in bed? All those things. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say things like that. That's going to get me in trouble. Method Man's back and says, put Aaron Rodgers in the booth with the headset where he can talk directly to Zach Wilson. Yeah, be in his ear pre-snap until, 15 seconds or 20 seconds left? And then they have to get out of their ear. But Aaron Rodgers certainly can't help. I don't know if it's going to be enough to revive Zach Wilson, but maybe just Aaron Rodgers' presence is going to uplift this team a little bit. We got to hope for something, right? Like, you can't just go in and be like, this is it. This is going to just completely fall apart. Hennessy, you're not wrong. Zach won't even throw 304 touchdowns in 8 quarters. You're probably not wrong. Is Zach Wilson Jets forever? I don't know. And then Hennessy comes back in and says, is Jets forever still missing? I have not seen Jets forever. We have a missing in action report for Jets forever. I hope that he is okay. I know it must be tough times for him as he is the biggest Jets and Zach Wilson truther. He thinks that Zach Wilson's going to be a future Hall of Famer, all things like that. But we have not seen Jets forever in some very long time. Very, very long time. What else we got? Damien chimes in and says, we're going to win. I have a feeling. I freaking hope so. I really hope the Jets win this game. That would be an insane upset. That would be a really fun surprise on Sunday Night Football. They haven't been on Sunday Night Football since 2011. It's too long. It's too long, and I don't want to get embarrassed on national television with 4 million people watching because Taylor Swift's going to be there and the Jets are losing 30-6. I don't want to see that. Go out and pull an upset win. Why not? Brian says Mac Jones is Jets forever. That's my favorite comment of the stream right there. Brian, you're the winner for tonight. Best comment so far on this stream. Austin says, thought, keep Zach in the entire season, tank for Caleb. Let's root for Zach to start, have Caleb behind Rodgers for 2 years. They are not going to be worse than the Chicago Bears. What the Chicago Bears did today is absolutely unfathomable. The Bears are going to have the first and second pick in the draft, and they're going to take Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. The Jets are not going to be bad enough to be in that spot. And frankly, I don't want a tank. I don't. I want this team to win some games. They need to build positive momentum going into next season for a change. This is a good roster. They could add some talent somewhere, even if they finish middle of the pack, 15th pick in the draft, let's say the Jets have. They could find talent, add the best offensive lineman there. Do something different. But, I don't know. I'm so tired of waiting and being like, oh, well, let's just lose out and maybe get the best quarterback and have them sit for a couple of years. I don't know. Braden chimes in. He is 100% right. Says, I just want a good fight. We deserve a hard-fought game. We do. There's no reason to watch this team just roll over and die. I don't want to see this team just roll over and quit. That's my fear, though. With Zach Wilson at the helm, my fear is that this team is just going to quit because they know they don't have a chance offensively with just how bad the quarterback play has been. It's not fair to everyone else. It's not fair to this team. That's something that desperately, desperately needs to change. And whether it's Zach going out there and actually performing well for a change, or if it's them making a quarterback change, something has to give because it's tough on this defense. It's tough on the rest of the guys on the offense. This locker room is very, very close to imploding. Very close to imploding. Austin says just not another edge rusher. Yeah, I don't think they would go defensive line. I'd really hope not. That's their strength. I want an offensive tackle. Maybe it's not. Maybe Mekhi Becton sticks. If he plays out, the rest of the year and is healthy, maybe they re-sign Mekhi Becton. Maybe they are comfortable with AVT at right tackle. But I think they should add and try to put pieces around Aaron Rodgers to go for it in the next 2 years. Drafting a quarterback, that's what pissed him off in Green Bay, and maybe it ends up working with Green Bay and Jordan Love ends up turning into the answer. But I would like to add something that could actually help the roster in 2023. KJ asks, is Lawson active this game? Yes, the inactives. I pulled them up before. A little bit of a surprise. Al Woods is inactive. You have Israel Abanikanda, Jason Brownlee, Wes Schweitzer, Zaire Barnes, Al Woods, and Tony Adams, which means that Will McDonald is active. Carl Lawson's. Yeah. Will McDonald's active. Carl Lawson's active. Bryce Huff active. All those guys are active. John chimes in. Mosley was only guy on defense I saw play with any emotion last week, but as you said, hard to motivate yourself when you know your quarterback can't even string together a few first downs. Yeah, it is. And, Mosley's a vocal leader on this defense. It's kind of obvious he lost a step. And honestly, Quincy Williams might be a better linebacker now than CJ Mosley, but Mosley's still important as a leader on this team, and they need to rally a little bit. And it's tough for them to rally right now, again, when you kind of just know if you're going to only score one touchdown, you're going to put up somewhere between 10 and 16 points. It's hard to win in the NFL that way, even if your defense is perfect. The defense last week gave up 13 points and they still lost. It's 2023 NFL. You can't be asking for these guys to shut out opponents every week. It's not fair. John asks, why is Woods inactive? My best guess would be he is inactive because he's better as a run defender. He's not really a good pass rusher. And you would think with the Kansas City Chiefs, their strength is passing the football, and the Jets probably don't need to go that run heavy on defense. We're about 10 minutes away before hopping off. So get any last minute questions you want in here. We are hanging out for about another 10 minutes. There's 250 people in here. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. Please make sure to leave a like if you're enjoying the pregame live. I will be with Ryan and Green Bean at the half. Williams says, is Tim Boyle our quarterback? Depends on how Zach Wilson plays in the first half. He's the only Tim Boyle's active, so he's QB2 today. I'm hoping that Trevor Siemian is elevated at some point this next week, and I hope Trevor Siemian starts in Denver unless Zach Wilson does something, amazing tonight and pulls off some crazy upset. But yes, Tim Boyle is the backup, and who knows, maybe we'll see him next week. King Jamie the Mad, he is a Chiefs fan who is very, very supportive of the Jets. King Jamie, much appreciated. Thank you so much for hanging. He says, hi, Jets fans. This is the first game. I'm not rooting for you and feels like forever. I hope no injuries and for a good game. Good luck. Good luck to you tonight, King Jamie. I think the Chiefs take care of business tonight. But as you say, no injuries, and always appreciate your support. You're a real one. Hooked Up says, good luck, guys. Don't play like us or the Patriots. Yeah, rare, tough one for the Dolphins, right? The Dolphins defense did not play at all well today. Vic Fangio had that defense, looking much better early on in the year. They struggled this past week. Who knows? And the Patriots got their doors blown off. But Hooked Up Joe, the Dolphins are sick on offense. I think they bounce back. And they have the Giants next week, right? That should be a pretty good matchup, I would think. Let's see what else we got in here. T. Rivera says we need to win tonight. Pats got destroyed as well as the Finns. Let's go Jets. Yeah, it would help you stay active in the AFC East. You wouldn't be in last place. If you get to 2-2, you're in a pretty nice spot. You'd be in third and hanging around just a game back of both the Dolphins and the Bills. Got to hang tough. Got a couple super chats back to back. Appreciate both of you guys. Sim says, do you reckon there's a chance Garrett Wilson leaves or wants out if there are no changes to the team? I really, really hope it doesn't come to that. And that's my fear. Like, if this offense continues to just stink week after week after week, are they going to push themselves out? That's like something that's in the back of my mind. But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is coming back in 2024. And Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, we know, can put up numbies. There's no denying that. But it's hard not for these guys to get frustrated. I get it. They just have no chance right now offensively. I really hope that they make a change at some point for team morale. We saw it. They rallied around Mike White, and they put up some decent offensive numbers with Mike White at quarterback. So I don't know. I hope that's not the case, Sim. I really don't want to see that at all. That would be catastrophic if you ask me. Brian chimes back in. Introduction start, glass shatters, stone cold music plays, Rodgers walks out in uniform, Jets win. I would legitimately go from 6 to midnight if that happened. I'd be pitching a tent over here. I just even seeing him on the field is enough for me right now. He's walking around looking good. He's got the crutches still, but he's out there. He's walking around. I'm glad he's with the team. I appreciate Aaron Rodgers. A double bird to the haters who said that Aaron Rodgers is just going to go off somewhere. He's not going to, he's going to do rehab on his own in California. He doesn't care. But 2 weeks later, he's freaking back with the team. So, go kick rocks, do whatever it is that you got to do, because for whatever reason, he loves the Jets. I don't know why, but he loves this team. I ask myself the same questions. I don't know why. All they do is cause us pain, the New York Jets. But I love this team, and Aaron Rodgers loves this team, and he's not giving up. He's going to be back next year. He's rehabbing. He's not even giving up on this season yet. But man, even him just being there, just show him on the Jumbotron, the crowd will go absolutely bananas. Why not? NYY says the Jets don't use Hardman enough to even bet on him. LOL. On DraftKings, he's only the name absent from wide receivers and receptions tab. Yeah. They haven't used him at all. He had no offensive snaps in the first game. He had like 12 to 14 in the second game, all in garbage time against the Cowboys, and only a handful of snaps. I think it was 3 against New England this past week. It's embarrassing. There's no reason for that to be the case. Absolutely no reason for that to be the case. Get the ball into your playmaker's hands. It should not be that challenging. He's fast. He has good speed. Get him the football and watch good things happen. King Jamie's saying 27-20 Chiefs. I would sign up for a one-score game. I don't want to see a blowout. I would like to see this team show some fight, show some class. Honestly, don't get embarrassed in your own building. Don't get embarrassed on Sunday Night Football, a national audience. If you go out and lose 30-6 or 40-10 or whatever, and it's not a game in the second half, and they're showing Taylor Swift dancing, going berserk as Travis Kelce has his 3rd touchdown of the game, that's just too much. We've been through enough, Jet fans. We deserve to have some fun. Let's keep it a tight game. I don't know if this is true. David says, hey, at least this is probably the worst defense. Kansas City's defense has been freaking awesome so far to start this year. They've been really freaking good to start this season. I know they played the Bears once already, but they held Trevor Lawrence in check, and they played a pretty good game against Jared Goff also. This is not the Kansas City Chiefs of old where they're going to score a ton of points and their defense stinks. They have playmakers at all levels on the defense. I know Nick Bolton's out, but Leo Chenal is a good linebacker. They got playmakers in the secondary. The defensive line is good. They have Chris Jones. This is a really good defense. I would not sleep on this defense at all. Jets Chaos. He's going on with Greenbean and Ryan momentarily. He'll be on in a few. About 3 minutes out from that. He says, I am sick about this game. I'm nervous. I don't want to see a blowout. We don't deserve to see that. Nobody deserves to see that. It's show some fight. Give me something, man. But I am a little bit excited about Aaron Rodgers walking around on the sideline. Aaron Rodgers talking to Pat Mahomes. We were supposed to see Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes. It was supposed to be 2 legends going at it, fighting. You had Zach Wilson and Pat Mahomes. Freaking great. Dano says, are you in your childhood home? I see the Pats garb. I'm at producer Tyler's house. I'm watching the game with my friends. He invited me over. And I said, you know what? I will come over because last year I watched Jets Packers from this house and they won. So you know what? I'm hoping for a similar performance today. An upset win against an all-time quarterback. Sign me the hell up for that. It was around this time of year too, although it might have been a week later, I believe, right? It was week 5, Jets Packers last year, if I'm not mistaken. Couple more in here. Let's see. Just keep him far away from the actual sideline. Yeah, 100%. I don't want to see him actually get hurt on the field. That would be terrible. That would be absolutely horrific. Get him up in the press box. Get him off the field. Put a headset on him. Just let him chill out there. Shen R 08018 says, I have no hope in Zach, and if you do, you're in denial. You're a very much so an optimist if you have hope in Zach Wilson. Because all you have right now is hope. He has shown you nothing actually on the field to make you believe that he is going to have success tonight. The only thing you're doing is just having hope that something will change if you think that he's going to play well tonight. I hope he does, but it's just only hope. That's it. Jingle Dubs, here we go. Says, I'm a high school teacher, and on Mondays after Jets game, they get no homework if the Jets win. Those poor kids. Oh, you're a cool teacher for doing that. But, yeah, I don't think they're getting no homework tomorrow. That'd be blessed. Ali says Dr. Pepper or Coke. I take Dr. Pepper all day, but Coke is great. When I was younger, I loved Dr. Pepper a lot, but I like a little Jack Daniels in my Coke, but regular Coke is good too. I would say Coke, but Dr. Pepper is a very, very nice drink as well. I'm going to pour myself a nice bourbon to get ready for this game. I'm about ready to hop off, but I just wanted to say I appreciate each and every one of you guys for hanging out with me on this pregame show. Please make sure to leave a like on the video before you go. It's free. I know you're sick of, content creators saying, oh, please leave a like, begging for likes, but it really helps a lot with the algorithm, and putting us in front of more people gives more eyeballs to the Jets and Jets content, guys. So it's good for everybody. So if you can do that before you go, that would mean the absolute most. I'll be on with Green Bean and Ryan at halftime of this game. And let's hope the New York Jets pull off a crazy, crazy upset win on Sunday Night Football. Let's go, baby. Thanks for hanging out with me. I am Matt O'Leary, and I will talk to you next time. Go Jets.